Hey guys, what is going on? It is DaBoki here once again, and it's time for another Cooking with DaBoki. I'm here in my glorious kitchen, and we're going to be cooking some dumplings today. It's also known as mandu, or even pot stickers. You know, this is a really traditional, famous dish to have, a side dish. You guys probably all tried it, some variation or the other, but we're going to be cooking dumplings. So as you can see here, I have some frozen dumplings already right here. They're all frozen, rock hard, solid, but I'm going to go ahead and really quick, these dumplings we've made already previous night, my father and I, so I'm going to go ahead and cut to that and show you a little bit how it's made.
So the main ingredient that goes inside a Chinese style dumpling is cabbage. Now as you can see, we're chopping a lot of cabbage, and we're making a lot of dumplings because when we make dumplings, we just like to make a lot at one time, so later on we can just eat it whenever we feel like having dumplings, because it's a lot of preparation, it's a lot of prep work that needs to go into to make these dumplings. So I think at the end we made altogether about 300 dumplings, which was crazy. It took a long time, but anyway, so this cabbage is the main ingredient. You can always put whatever you want inside dumplings. There's not some sort of specific rule, but we like to put cabbage, and then after that we put green onions. Green onions are really good to bring out the flavor inside dumplings, and it's really nice because it doesn't make the dumpling soggy. You don't want to use any sort of wet vegetable. That's what my dad said. I'm not really sure what that means, but he likes to use somewhat of a drier vegetable. Now those are going to be the two main vegetables that we use inside our dumplings, and as you can see inside this huge bowl there is a lot of cabbage, a lot of green onions. So after you have your vegetables in your bowl, you're going to want to go ahead and start adding some sauce. Now what we like to use is oyster sauce. It has a really nice sweet tang to it. It almost tastes like hoisin sauce, and it's really popular in a lot of Chinese dishes. So this is something really good to put inside a dumpling filling. Afterwards, you're going to want to put some white pepper. It has a really nice aroma, really strong, so you want to use it in moderation. Used in a lot of soups as well. Follow up with some soy sauce. We like to use soy sauce instead of salt. We feel like it's a little bit more healthier, it's a little bit more pure. So soy sauce is definitely the better choice to go to bring out those really flavors that are missing inside a dumpling. After that, chicken base is added. This is like the secret ingredient a lot of Chinese cooks like to add. It is powdered chicken base because we're not really sure what it does, but it definitely brings out some nice flavor. As you can see, it's just a really small amount is used in there. And finally, sugar. Sugar goes really well with meat, so that's why when you put sugar with meat, it cooks really nicely. So because after we put the sugar in, we're going to follow up with some ground pork. Now ground pork in dumplings is really traditional, really famous, and really popular. Now if you're vegetarian, you can always leave the pork out, or you can add it with beef or chicken as well. So after all the ingredients are in the bowl, you're going to want to mix it up, and afterwards it's going to look really weird, but that is pretty much what you have inside a dumpling. Now the next important part of dumplings are the skins, the actual things that wrap your dumpling, the holder, the house for your filling. Everyone has different preferences on what kind of dumpling wrappers they like, but we like to use a little bit thicker ones so they don't break as easily. So after you have everything, you want to go ahead and start making the dumpling. This is tricky, so you want to go ahead and place it in the palm of your hand, put some water on the side of the edges, and just start putting the filling inside the middle of the wrapper, and you want to fold it together elegantly. Now, I don't know how to do it, but my dad says the more lines there are in the dumpling, the more expensive it is and the more you can sell at the restaurants. But mine, they just end up looking like dinosaurs, and I'm really proud of that, but apparently it's a disgrace to the Chinese family, so I don't know what exactly I'm supposed to expect, but I'm really proud of my dinosaur looking like dumplings. I just squeeze them together and I throw it down. I'm like, dumpling is done.
So now we have our final product right here, the dumpling. Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pan fry these dumplings, but first we have to boil it. So I have some water right now boiling. We're going to go ahead and boil probably 6 or so into there. I'm kind of hungry, so I'm going to eat a little bit. So once the water starts boiling, we can go ahead and pop those dumplings in there, and after we boil them a little bit, we're going to go ahead and pan fry them. The famous pan fry. So like I said, pretty common food. You guys probably all tried dumplings before, but they're always different wherever you have them. I remember I went to Korea and I had this amazing dumpling. It was actually called bultina mandu, and they were Korean dumplings, and they were so delicious. You could get like 10 of them. 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So like this many for just $3. $3 is insane! So our water is now boiling. Oh, so gracefully. Look at the fire. It looks so cool. It's like purple blue. Alright, so now since the water is boiling, we're going to go ahead and put some dumplings in there. We want to make sure they're all broken apart right now, and we're just going to carefully drop them in there. This is always the scary part, dropping in dumplings in boiling water. You never know what might happen. Oh, alright, so that's 3, 4, 5, and maybe one more. we'll just make this an appetizer. Usually I have like 10 or 12 if I'm gonna make it a meal, but I'll probably have something else with it. So I have 6 in there, and what I like to do, I'll probably turn down the heat just a tad also. What I like to do, like I was saying before, is since we're using homemade dumplings, and you know, when you do homemade stuff could go a little bit astray, but I like to use a little bit of oil and just put it inside the water right here, just so the dumplings don't stick together, because that's always bad if they break inside the water pot when they're boiling. And just use a spatula and just go ahead and mix it up. Always delicious. Make sure they're not sticking to the bottom, because if the dumpling breaks, then it's a sad day. Your money pouch. I believe some countries, they believe that this is like a money pouch. Like, you know, you have this pouch of money inside, and it's like really good to eat it. I'm not gonna eat frozen dumplings, that's gross. So we're gonna let that boil for just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and close the cover on that, but let the steam just flow out. Maybe set the timer for about 4 minutes or so, and we'll be back for some dumpling action. So the next super important part is to make the sauce for the dumplings. Now a lot of people just like to use traditional soy sauce, but for me, I like to go all out. So I have a special sauce that I make for my dumplings, which is superb! Well, I think it's superb. Well, since it's just me eating by myself all lonely, like, I think Tammy's at school. But just so it's firm by myself, I'm gonna just have a small little saucer bowl. Always good to start out with. Now the special ingredient to dumpling sauce is this spicy chili right here. It's this chili garlic. Now this is so good. It's kind of spicy, but I believe it's Chinese. And I'm just gonna go ahead and take a little spoonful. Actually, it's a pretty big spoonful, and place it right in there. Now, if you don't do good with spiciness, I recommend you to stay away from this, but just a little bit is in there. I'm gonna do a little bit more. I like mine a little bit more spicy. So there it is, a little bit of spiciness for the goodness. Now the other main ingredient, of course, is the soy sauce. This is very important. You don't want to put too much, but of course too little would not be good too. So we're just gonna go ahead and pour that in there, cover up that redness, and we're gonna go ahead and mix it. The next important ingredient, of course, is indeed, well, we have it in a honey bottle for some reason, but this is sesame seed oil, and it's so good. The smell of it, you can smell it right away. Yes, that's good. We're gonna put a little bit of that in there. I like to go a little bit heavy sometimes on that. You probably can't see too much of it, but there is like oilness flowing on there. It just gives it a really good aroma. Now, this right here is vinegar. This is pretty good too. I do enjoy putting vinegar in my sauce, but the problem is you gotta put just so little or it's gonna be so sour. So you just gotta put a little dab of it, and there you go, just like that. Because the problem is, the good thing is that the vinegar does well with spiciness. So when you do a little bit of vinegar with spicy, that's really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and taste a little bit of that sauce right now. Oh yeah, that's good. Actually, I could use a little bit more soy sauce. I think I put a little bit too much sesame seed oil in there, because it's a little bit overpowering. So the next part is optional. Green onions. I love green onions. Well, I'm just a huge onion fan in general. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put a dab of green onions in there, because it kind of flavors the sauce a little bit more, and it gives it just a little bit more umph in it. So put some green onions in there. You got yourself a nice little sauce. So our final product of our sauce is looking like this. Now let's go check on the dumplings. Dumplings are looking mighty fine. They're starting to get a little bit bloated. They're just dancing around in there, having all a good time. Steam is coming up. But yeah, it looks like I do need to turn up the heat just a little bit. Need to still keep that boil going, which seems like it's boiling just a tad, but you want to make sure it just has that full, nice, steady boil to it. Alright, so since our dumplings are almost ready, we're going to go ahead and turn on the pan. We want the pan to be pretty hot when we activate it, I guess, when we put the dumplings inside. So we're going to start heating up the pan now. And the tricky part about it is that you want to make sure you use a good amount of oil in here, because you don't want the dumplings to stick on the bottom. So we're just going to go ahead and oil up our pan just a tad bit.
Chicka 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 wow wow, playing the pan sauce.
So the pan is getting heated now. I'm gonna balance that gently. Now the trick about mandu is you want to make sure that you keep moving it. So I'm no professional cook. Goodness, I should stop pretending I know stuff. I'm probably gonna burn something. But yes, so the dumplings are pretty well right now. They're plump, they're fresh. They look like they're ready to be eaten very soon here. You can kind of see one, it's cracking open just a little bit, which is, a little bit bad. But hopefully it just survives just a little bit longer. Now you do want to be careful because the oil will get very hot. So when you put the dumpling inside, it's very dangerous because the oil will splash all over the place, which is pretty much splashing right now. So I'm a little bit worried of putting the oil in here, or the dumplings in here, because I'll probably get burned really bad, but oh well. Let's try it anyways. I'm probably gonna stand back a little bit. So we're gonna get the dumpling. I'm just gonna transfer it in the pot, or in the pan there. You're gonna hear that nice little sizzling sound. Get some more dumplings. Oh, almost slipped down. You wanna get some water in there also so that it adds that extra sizzle. Oh yeah. Gonna put all 6 in there. Like so. Alright, there you go. So now we have them all in here, all gracefully like. All good friends. We're gonna go ahead and just move them around just a little bit. So they're already pretty much cooked right now. You can have them steamed, or you can have them boiled, steamed, or even pan fried. But right now what we're doing is we're just getting that pan fry aroma on them. We're gonna go ahead and pretty much crisp the bottom, one side of it, and these are pan fried dumplings. So these are pretty much what you'll be seeing when you go to like Chinese restaurants or pretty much any restaurant in general when you order dumplings. I mean, it's pretty traditional. Nothing really that special, but it's always good fun and good to make it homemade, I guess. Oh, dumplings. I want to take a dump of a dumpling. What? Gonna make sure this one's not sticking right here. Being a little bit aggressive. So there we have it. I just finished putting the dumplings out. So as you can see, this nice brown, golden crisp right here. Just makes it like that pan fry, and this is what makes dumplings so good when you pan fry them. That's what I really like to pan fry dumplings. I mean, I do like to eat them boiled too, but pan fried dumplings, just prime. So here we have our sauce. I do like to have some rice, of course, because, well, I just love rice. So delicious. So what we like to do, and this bowl right here, oh my goodness, this bowl is very important because the thing is after you get the dumpling in there, right, you pour some little bit of sauce on top. Goodness. And after you eat and you have all the sauce in your bowl left over, you can go back and actually go to the soup that we had made, that we boiled our dumpling in, and you can pour this broth inside your bowl, and it makes it a whole nother meal. So it's so good. I love it. But let's go ahead and try this dumpling. Oh, that's so good. Oh my goodness. As you can see here, everything, well, my camera is so blurry, but as you can try to see, everything in here is pretty much cooked, or it is all cooked, and it's just so delicious. Everything is cooked so well and made so well. It's just so much better because we made it ourselves, and it's homemade, so it's really good. Well, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy the rest of my dumplings, my meal. I hope you guys enjoyed this cooking with DaBoki, and yeah, try to make some dumplings. It's fun. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work too. Alright, guys, we'll be seeing you guys later.